Morning.
I'm Callie Rabo. I'm the owner of Suncoast Compost. We are Tampa Bay's first curbside composting company. People are like, why'd you do that? So I just had a baby, and for those of you who have kids, you know your whole world shifts when you have a kid, and you start thinking about their future. And I care a lot about the environment, and you might have heard that Florida is in danger of going underwater due to climate change. And I wanted to do what I could do. So this is something that came from me wanting to do something for the environment. So Suncoast Compost, we are Tampa Bay's first curbside composting company. So what is compost and why should you compost and how do we compost at Suncoast Compost? So let's talk dirt. What is compost? Can you give me a hand if you compost at home? Cool. All right. Have any friends or family that compost? Okay. All right. So composting is basically taking food scraps, breaking them down to grow soil to grow more food. Compost itself is decaying organic matter and microorganisms. It's this plant food, basically, this living plant food. So how do we break it down at Suncoast Compost? Well, we do it a few different ways. We use maggots or baby flies, if we're trying to rebrand that.
PR campaign for maggots.
We use static piles, just basically piles that cook there. And we use chickens, which are great employees. They don't need any days off. So this living plant food, this compost, we're using it to reconnect the food cycle. Why should we compost? Well, when you eat your food and you don't finish it, where does it go? Okay, where does it go after the trash? Okay. All right, so let's think about this scale here for a second. 40% of the food we produce in the U.S. never gets eaten.
So I don't know. Nice justification.
So, after the trash can, if it's going into a landfill, it doesn't have any air. This creates methane, which is a really awful greenhouse gas. It is 30 times more potent than CO2. So CO2 is like throwing a blanket over the earth. Methane is like throwing 30 blankets over the earth. Methane is really, really bad stuff. If global food waste were a country, it would be the third largest greenhouse gas emitter in the world. China would be first, we would be number 2, and food waste would be number 3. The good news, though, is that food waste is one of the easiest ways to address climate change, which comes back to why I'm doing this. Some people also like to point out, well, I put it down in the garbage disposal. Like, it's not in the landfill. Well, where does it go after the garbage disposal?
You're so great. I know.
Going to sewers, going to wastewater treatment plant, it's going into the bay. What's wrong with that? All those nutrients are feeding algae, which is choking the plants, which takes oxygen out of the water. Fish need oxygen, they die. Okay, so we're harming the wildlife. Biggest dead zone in the Gulf ever. Have you guys heard about that? Yeah, it's from all these nutrients coming from all over the U.S. That's a story for another day. It also contributes to red tide. Don't want to send it down there. In the Tampa Bay area, we throw away 1.3 million pounds of food waste every day.
That's just me.
So we do have this broken food cycle. We're mining the earth for phosphates and nitrates. We're shipping them all the way over to Iowa, growing corn. We're shipping that corn all the way back to Florida. Think of the fossil fuels. Okay? We have the nutrients here. We just need to do it the way that nature intended us to do it. So how does it work if you sign up for Suncoast Compost? How do we recapture that food waste? Well, there's 3 legs to our business. We have it for residents, we have it for work, and we have it for events, okay? So for residents, you get a kitchen bin, you put it on your counter. While you're cooking, put your scraps in there. You get your curbside bin, this lives outside. and you get a compostable bag, which I'll pass around. This is made of plants. Ooh, wow. And you just empty it into your curbside bin. You put it out. We pick it up once a week, just like your recycling. Okay, that's $26 a month. There's also a drop-off program at $16 a month, where you drop it off at one location. Then for businesses, you can attract green-minded customers. You can potentially save money on trash pickups. We're taking out that food waste. You don't need the dumpsters to be cleaned out as much. And then for events, we consult with your vendors. We set up zero waste stations. We put educators at those stations. It starts at about $125 a month. And we give you really cool feedback about how you did. This is Indie Flea Tampa, and some feedback that we recently gave to them. What can be composted? Just about anything. If it grows, it goes. These are our current customers. We just started a few months ago, and that's where we want to be by December. Thank you so much to the Entrepreneur Services. Thank you so much to the Entrepreneur Services and Dottie and 1 Million Cups.